Welcome to Bent Not Broken. Let's see what kind of trouble we've gotten ourselves into. Alright, I want no judgments. A lady gave me a whole bunch of scrap wood if I took that crap. And so I dug through it and I constructed a rain barrel stand. I did not feel like making it perfect. I personally, especially in the backyard, care more about functionality than aesthetics. And so this is what I got. And I got to use my finish nailer for the first time, so I'm super duper excited. I think it's going to work. I have not done any tests to it. I'm about to stand on top of it. And I figured I was going to film that. That way, in case I fell, you guys could laugh at me. So let's see what happens. If I can get up here. Now, I do not weigh as much as a 60-gallon rain barrel that is full of water wood, but this thing feels pretty damn sturdy, y'all. If Jen was up, I'd make her get up here with me. But I have cross braces underneath, and I've got the slats all the way. My legs are supported. With the exception of some nails and screws. This was 100% free, and I built this in maybe an hour and a half, because I had to chase Maggie. Her little ass decided to find the hole behind the fences and stuff and go run all across my mound, because I haven't blocked that area off yet. And then it turned into a chasing game for her. Oh, I could have beat her butt. But needless to say, she then went into the kennel. And it is starting to drizzle. But I built something. Y'all, I think I'm broken. The things that used to excite me don't excite me anymore. It used to be, ooh, yes, Dunkin' Donut. Or QT hot dogs or something like that. Now it's free cardboard. Am I broken or just weird? So I'm over here sitting on my rain barrel stand working on the pipe. I accidentally pulled it off, so I'm gonna have to reattach it. The bolt fell and hit me on the back, but it's all good. And so I'm literally like right underneath the downspout, screwing it in, and I'm gonna put an extra security measure on there, because the fact that they use just this teeny tiny little guy to secure those is kind of baffling, but I guess it obviously works. But anyways, I'm right underneath this thing working on it. The only thing I can think about is the itsy bitsy spider, and to my knowledge none came down the spout, but that's what I was thinking about. And I don't know if I'm glad that no itsy bitsy spider came down while I was underneath this, which I still am, or a little sad that it didn't happen. I don't know. But I missed the rain for today. My boxes got a little wet, but I guess not great, so I'm probably gonna have to pour some water on them. But soon we'll have a rain barrel, and it's not supposed to rain for several more days. So it's so sad, but it is what it is. I don't know. Also, I think I've learned here. Oh, of course, my finger's in the way. I think I've learned my saying is, well, that's where we're at, or something. I don't know. Or we'll see. I don't remember. I just watched the video that I posted, and I told Jen, I said, I guess that's my saying. But I do it so naturally that now I don't remember it. You guys probably know. This is where we're at or something. I don't know. Anyways, I just got on here to tell you about the itsy bitsy spider that I did not see. Alrighty. I have my lovely ugly stand, but I don't care, because it was the first thing I built out of pallet wood, and I did measure and cut all my legs, but then the other stuff I was like, we just gonna use scrap pieces. Well, actually the legs and then the top around it, those were measured and cut to perfection. And then the rest of the stuff, I was like, I'm just going to use the scrap boards. I mean, because there's going to be a couple inches on that, and there's nothing I can do with it. And, like, we're just going to make it work, okay? It was free wood. We put it together. I'm happy with it. I don't care. And it supports my rain barrel. I've got it tapped down there. I do wish I did it like the first one and put it up here rather than down there, because I don't like the angle. But you know what? It's done. There's nothing I can do about it now. I've got my net to catch all the nasty stuff. I've got my lid so my net doesn't go away. And that guy's in there, and that guy's secured now. And I told Jen about the itsy bitsy spider. And now we need some rain. So yeah, my excited. Alright, so the chicken rain barrel stand is slowly collapsing, and it has now started to shift. Hi, Cheeky. And so it's overflowing here, which is going to make that worse. But it's still uphill, so I think gravity-wise, whenever it does collapse, I'm still going to be okay. These girls are really getting to know me again and not being as scared of me, which I love. Still no eggs. Jen and I were talking yesterday, and I was letting her know, I was like, I think it's getting really, really close. She's like, we need nesting boxes. And I was like, I know. And I had gotten those crates whenever I did a pallet pickup. And so that's our makeshift nesting box. Jen had made it all pretty. I got clean pine shavings yesterday, and she put them out in here, and she made it all pretty in there. She was very disappointed this morning when she got up, and I told her, oh crap, I was almost stepping on my plants. I told her that the girls, like, flattened it. She was not happy about that. Hi, Mama. Hi. Yes, I had to move the roosting bar to this side. They seem to really like it. So they got roosting bars on both sides. They're far enough away so that they can't poop in their waterers over there. I need to get back in there again and clean them out. So we revamped their whole spot. Hi, baby. But, like, they're learning me. They're learning my voice. Hi, honey. They want treats and an ice cube. I know. What you been doing? I didn't even get on here to talk about you guys, but hi. I never really thought I would own chickens, and I never thought that I would enjoy chickens, but look at that chicken butt. You know? So the yellow ones are definitely a lot more friendly than the other ones, but they're doing better. There's one of those black and white guys that's a bit of a butthead, but they're fine. Like, when I go to give them treats, the one of them will, like, intentionally, repeatedly bite my finger while the others are eating the stuff. And I know it's on purpose, because, like, the way she looks at me afterwards, she's like, yeah, bitch, I bit you. What you gonna do about it? And I'm like, I'm gonna put you in the crock pot. But it's fine. Not yet. She's gotta earn her keep first. Anyways, what I brought you out for was not to show my poor craftsman skills. I mean, it was built well. It's just, this is way too big of a rain barrel for the chickens, and my roof system is way too efficient, and or we've just had too much rain. I don't know. Hi. I know. You guys are so pretty. Not really. You look like freaking ugly dinosaurs. Alright, so the mound. Maggie's little asshole self decided this morning that today's the day that she's just not going to listen. And when I was trying to build the stand, she came back here, and then it was a game of catch me if you can, and she's all over it, and she's running circles on this mound. And I'm just like, Maggie, no, because I've got all my plants. She, like, squished two, but they seem okay. I've got grass popping in here, which is kind of annoying. But my peppers still look good. My watermelon still looks okay. These guys look good. We're going to go take a look and see if we can get a closer guess as to whether or not this is squash or cucumber. And this is where I found the snake, but this is frequently where I kneel right back down. Alright, so there was, see, look at that big kahuna. What if this is some kind of melon? What if we're wrong? Like, that's getting so big. If that's a watermelon, and I planted watermelons, but I don't remember my watermelons looking like this. This is definitely like a squash. And the way it flowers. So, again, we're back and forth on squash, zucchini. But that's going to be a squash. That's going to be a really big squash, right? I don't know. It's going to produce a good bit, I can tell you that. I don't know. But I'm going to go show you my sunflowers. I did end up telling Jen that I planted her 15 back here, and she was baffled when I told her that I did not go purchase them, that I found them in the yard from what her coworker Sue gave us. And no, I didn't sawzall that guy out yet, so I still have a friggin' trip hazard back here. And these are the runners. That's what that is. So that's part of a stump coming from under my fence. I had dug it out, and these are the runners that go through the yard. But anyways, my sunflowers. And they're spaced out 1.5 2 feet apart. That one doesn't look the greatest, but they're getting there. That one and that one look really good. And then I've got more weeds growing back up in here, so it's hard to decipher what's what, but I've gotten really good at this. That's the sunflower. And then we got crabgrass and all the things. That guy does not look like it's doing well. But that one is-ish. Alright, so that's the not super duper exciting tour of the mound. I do wish I had it a little more level, but the day that I was out here plucking the weeds and all the stuff, I tried to flatten it with the rake, but I just didn't have it in me to actually try and level this stuff. So in the event this stays next year and I don't move it to the other location, I'm gonna level it out and kind of fix the sides a little bit so it's like flat and like got a decent slope. Because I don't think I'm crafty enough to like staircase it, and I'm not sure if it's even tall enough to staircase it well, but that's the game plan. If this produces well, I'm really going to like it. This is the spot that I used to have all my gardens in. Every time prior to Jen that I ever had a garden, it was always back here in this corner because you get really good sunlight. But this was a bit of a sinkhole because I had ended up putting a pond in it, and that's what it looked like when Jen got here, but we got it filled in with mulch and all this dirt and whatever. And so the past couple of years, we've just had a very small garden up front. So, to recap, mystery plant that nobody has made a guess on, 50 bell peppers, 5 watermelons in this bed. That's a watermelon. I spaced them out 1, 2, there's one at the other end, there's one at the end there, and there's one over here, right there. Yeah, massive. And I've still got to get my onions. I'm probably about to go do that and see how many onions I can get in here. I honestly think that if I got 50 bell peppers in here, I should be able to get 160 of the little onion bulbs in here. There's plenty of space to do that, and that needs to be done. So that's the goal for today, I think, is plant the onions. I really want to plant a pumpkin and 2 of the spaghetti squash, but I don't have a way to keep Maggie out of that area beside the house yet because I haven't gone to get any pallets or anything like that, because it's also really hard putting pallets in the back of an SUV. We just kind of do what we can around here. Yeah. Now I remember my saying, this is where we're at. I'm going to put that on a shirt, just so y'all know. I just did the stupid. I was like, okay, let me take some of this weight off. Let me drain that. And so I unscrewed it, and it was flooding this plant. And it was all well and good until there's a mountain of water, or I guess I should say a river. And I'm like, that is 1,000% about to run off and flood my chicken coop. I was able to get it back on there, but I got a little wet in the process. So I think I'm going to leave it alone, and if I want to drain some of it, I'm going to have to come back with a hose and try and get it on there and divert it away. Oopsie doopsie, I almost flooded my chickens. No, I am so creative. So I had just laid this little board kind of catty-cornered, and I'm like, Maggie's going to get through that. But then this old tiki torch was partially sticking out from back there. So now I'm not sure Maggie's going to be able to get through, because if she tries to push, it's not going anywhere. And to get in, I just open it like a gate, and boom. Sometimes I have somewhat okay ideas, I guess. And, well, that's too far out now. That should block her access. I hope. She's smart. She could 1,000% jump over that. But the thing is when she comes back here, she's barreling. And so she literally, like, rounds this corner. I don't know if she's going to see it coming, because I assessed the damage. And she did squash a couple of the bell peppers, but they were relatively okay. She ripped a watermelon plant in half. So I found the other end and I stuck it in the ground. I have no idea if watermelons reproduce like that, but the stem is still in there from the other piece. So we're either gonna have 4 or 5 or 6 watermelon plants. I don't know, but I felt like that was pretty creative. And I did get, you can kind of see, some more boxes. Nowhere near what I need, but it's a start. And so that's down. Go me! Jen told me I could do the mushrooms if I cleared off the island. So I did. And I hung her curtain rod thingies. And I swept and mopped and vacuumed and did all of that. And a bunch of other stuff that we'll see if she noticed. So maybe I can get 2 kinds of mushrooms. What she doesn't know is that tomorrow, right there-ish, there's probably most likely gonna be a hydroponic tower. I mentioned that I was gonna do year-round lettuce for her. Well, I kind of need my guy back, and I finally have space to put it. And looking at the blender, that reminds me that I need to take my sourdough back out of the fridge, because we ate all of our pizzas, and now I need to make more pizzas, because it's really, really fucking good. Shadow, you haven't been on here in a while. Okay, I gotta organize the shoes. Shadow! Don't look at my paint. I did clean the floor. That's paint. I did that when I painted the ceilings and primed the walls. Not when I painted the blue, though. And my beetles are beetling. They got some fresh carrots tonight, and they're super duper happy about it. I need to look into, do you change this bedding, which is oats, or like what do you do? Because like, I'm not about to have frickin' beetles loose in the house. These things have schmexyzyme like all the time. And it's ridiculous. Like, they're always on top of each other. So, hopefully, I don't see anything. There's the cat. Hopefully that, see? Hopefully they lay some eggs or cocoons or balloons or whatever it is they do. And then we can have mealworms and go feed the chickens again. I also still want to take Shadow out to see her babies, but I don't know if she would recognize them. Why are you on the counter? I am so glad that this is the only one that she gets on. She has never once gotten on top of the stove or the other countertops. But I really wish you wouldn't get up here, ma'am. What do you have to say for yourself? Nothing. Just love me. Okay. Boop. So yeah, we're getting mushrooms. I told her she can pick what kind of mushroom we get, because, I don't know, there were more kinds of mushrooms on the website than, like, I knew what to do with. I'm really glad we don't cook on this countertop. But, ma'am, this is supposed to be my sourdough area, and you should not be on it. This thing is so tall. Like, I don't even know how she does it. She's so little. Alright, I'm working on setting up this tower. This is a different one that I had in the shed, but I've never used. Cat, go away. I'm gonna give you guys the privilege of seeing what I just saw, because I'm very confused. Why is it smoking? Excuse me. I don't understand. Never had one do that before. Ouch. That was like... I almost feel like something might not be right here. Let's turn that off. Look at that. If I blow it... Huh. That's weird. Y'all, I'm dumb as hell. I took the lid off and I turned it back on because I'm like, is this shit on fire? Like, what is happening? I just read the boxes looking for the instructions. It's a misting one. Well, now that makes a hell of a lot more sense. It's kind of cool now that I know that it's not going to set the house on fire. Oh boy, I am so glad Jen is at work right now. Yeah, this is exciting. Well, for me at least. Alright, pardon my mess and everything. I just got out of the shower. But I realized this would be a good moment to, instead of tell you about it, show you about it. And this is my boss. Her name is Shadow. And she is very intrigued. And she also would like to know about this. This is a side project she put me in charge of. So, yeah, it's popping. Popping some water out. The mist thing is something I'm not familiar with, but I do know a decent amount about hydroponics and aquaponics. I would love to be able to do aquaponics, but that's neither here nor there. So, to fix this problem, we take these guys, and we're just going to start putting them in the holes. Now, I didn't intend to start this many plants, but this isn't how we start them, so it's fine, but this is going to stop some of the popping up when it's misting. So I'm just filling all the holes. I need one more guy. Am I missing one? Alright, so I'm missing one, but that's probably fine. And then you take these little pieces, or you can get the little sponge pieces. You put your seed in there, and then you put that into the water. And so, let's see what we have here. See what Jen wants me to grow. I have lots of seeds. I actually couldn't find all my seeds. Let's see. We don't need any bell peppers, tomatoes. There's my lettuce. Alright, so we're just doing lettuce tonight. This is romaine Paris Island lettuce. Is it good? I don't know. The one time I planted it before, we didn't get it growing all the way. So, lettuce seeds, by the way, are very, very small. They're not very big, but they're not the smallest seeds in the world. trying to decide how many of these I want to start. That was stupid. Now I can't reach it. Alright. I'm going to put 2 seeds in. Even though hydroponics has a much higher germination rate than just putting things in the ground. There's 1. 2 seeds in that guy. Or girl. I don't know. I don't know how to sex seeds. Right there. Let's do a couple more. Two in that one. We'll go there. Alright, so that's 4. Let's do 6. Alright, now I put the rest of my seeds back because I don't want to lose them. These are from Paris. Not really, but that's the name of them. So we're going to pretend this is French lettuce. You know, I probably should have ordered the mushrooms and had those started before she came home and saw this. But when I told her about the strawberries and the salad bar thing earlier today, she did seem very excited. And she has been extremely supportive of all my shenanigans. And even though she's a little overwhelmed by the garden, I think she's very appreciative of the amount of work that I've been putting into it. And I know she's going to be like through the moon when everything starts producing. Because that's when the fun starts. And she loves going to harvest with me. Because it's exciting. You never know what you're going to get. And this year, once things start growing, we should literally be able to go out there almost any time of the day and get something. Alright, now we have these little dome guys that you put on top until they germinate and start to sprout. This helps moisture retention. I'm going to put it on all the others as well so that it doesn't pop as much. Also, that's broken. That's my little doohickey guy, but it's broken. That's sad. Oh well. Alright, so we put the little domes on. Even the ones that I don't have plants in, just so that way when it does its misting thing, the countertop does not get soaked. And if the countertop doesn't get soaked, that means my wife doesn't get mad at me, because I would 1000% understand if she was a little upset about a wet countertop. You know, she's a pretty rational and like easygoing kind of person, but wet countertops probably would not be something she'd be okay with. Alright, now the biggest thing about hydroponic systems is that's just plain water that I put in there, which means it needs nutrients. You gotta have something. So this looks like the pellet form. I've only used the liquid kind before, but you have 2 plant foods that you have to figure out how much water's in there, do the math, and figure out how much of the plant food that needs to go in there. And it says it's for germination, vegetation, flowering, and fruiting. Should I start some flowers? Because I could always start them in this and then transplant them. Oh, let's see what we got. Again, I don't have all my stuff in here. Butterfly weed. Alright. What month are we in? June, I think. Nope. No. No, I can't start those. I can't start marigolds. I need some marigolds. It's a bit, actually, these all you really have to do is just sprinkle on the ground and these things are going to like take off. So I need to do that tomorrow. I think I'll start with some more sunflowers. So there's 9 varieties in this. We threw some out last year. So let me see. I gotta remember where I put the other guys. Alright. So we're gonna move this lettuce to here. I started one too many. Cover him, and that's gonna be a lettuce. So y'all help me remember that the first row, and wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6. Yeah, I started 6. It's okay. We're gonna put the lettuce in the middle because then I know it's exactly 6 rows. I mean, yeah, 6 plants. All right, lettuce is in the middle. And I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. All right, good. I have enough of these. Oh, I doubt I'll be this lucky, but it says there's 9 varieties. What do you think the chances are of me finding the 9 seeds? 1 of each. I don't think that's going to happen because there's a bunch of 2 different kinds in here. I really only see 3 different varieties of seed. Maybe, nope, 4. Alright, we're just going to pick them. Sunflower seed in. Nope, he was too big. Oh no! I have too many seeds in my hand. Alright, sunflower seed in. He's going in the pot. This is a different seed. So we're going to do that guy. And since these are bigger, I'm only doing 1 of each. 1 of each seed in here. Let's do that guy. We didn't plant that one yet. This may be a different variety. It's a slightly lighter shade than the black one, but I think it's just the black one. Three more. If this is boring, sorry, not sorry. But I felt like I could teach you about aquaponics. I mean, there's no fish. This is hydroponics. Aquaponics is much cooler. So, how hydroponics works is basically you just have some kind of container like this with a little pump or different pipes, and there's little holes cut out in them, and you use similar to this, like the little cups where you put different kind of materials, not soil, never soil in it, and depending on the kind of system, like this one you can start seeds in because of those cones. They're able to hold the seed without the seed falling out. Other systems you have to put in established plants. It just depends on what you're running. On the auction I won the tower system last year, and I have been waiting to use it. It didn't pan out last year. I was too busy at work and with the back and all the things. I didn't get to do it. It's in the shed. I'm wanting to get it set up. Just because I've never done it. Ideally, I would get a solar powered pump because, like, with the exception of putting solar panels in my house, like, I try and run as much solar as I can because your girl's cheap. And it freaking works. Like, the sun's there staring at me all day. Power some shit. Do something. But the difference between hydroponics, which is just the water, and aquaponics is the addition of fish. So something I could do, because I have a fish tank, would be connect some kind of system like this to the fish tank so that the water from the fish tank is being pumped out, watering the plants and going back in. Because as long as you don't put anything harmful in with your plants, it's not going to hurt your fish. You don't put bleach in your fish tank, never do that. It's not going to harm your plants. They help each other. The fish poop is good fertilizer for the plants. The nitrogen and stuff that the plants give off is good for the fish and helps clean their water. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's Gucci, and, like, I really want to do it. A lot of fish farmers use tilapia. Huge fish farming for that. Like, I would love to have a freaking tilapia back there, I guess. Really, I want a koi pond, and then I would totally use the koi pond and put it in with the tower system. But I don't have space for a pond, and that's a lot of work digging that hole. I've dug a pond before, I know. But anyways, I'm going to figure out how much plant food I need, put that in there. I'm going to get these guys covered up. I'm going to push that guy back and hope that Jen still loves me in the morning when she comes home and she sees that I've done a lot of stuff and that I cleared this, but I added to it. I mean, she didn't say I couldn't, but I mean, in her defense, I did have tools and stuff on here. And when I built this, we told each other we were going to keep it clear. So it was full of tools and EMS week stuff, and everything is in its rightful home now. She just didn't know that this was getting a new home. Because I also built this for me. This was supposed to be my island, but I guess she's stuck on it with me. So that's all for now. I'll let you know in a few days if there's any activity here. Hopefully the sunflowers do something, because that'd be cool. She loves sunflowers. One of the things I've been wanting, especially since I got the 6-foot fence, is I want a row of sunflowers, like, along one side. And the ones that we got from Sue that are like 6 feet tall will be perfect. I did start in that little corner this year. I'm going to seed save as many of those as I can so that next year, hopefully, I can, like, go bigger. Because, you know, bigger is always better. That's why I like going to Texas. So, we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm wired, and I've been up. I think Maggie woke me up before 6 o'clock. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I guess I'm waiting for Jen to get home. I don't know. But I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm still wide awake. And I can't go outside and do stuff. I'm running out of things to do in the house. That's a lie. I can always find stuff. But, like, there's nothing else in the house that excites me to go do. Y'all ever have that problem? I'm so excited. I got a notification this morning that I was getting chips within 48 hours, and then he called me. He's like, I'm going to be there in less than 30. This is going to make a huge mess, but I'm so excited. He's trying to, I laid out some tarps so that when it gets small enough I can drag it, he's trying to get it on it. Darla May. I'm also trying to keep these dogs at bay because Jen's trying to sleep, and now she's going nuts. Oh, it's going to be so good. I'm so excited. I feel like a kid, but this is going to be so much work. Darla! I want to see it. Come on, guys. Don't hit my house. Oh, this is going to be a lot. This is very exciting. They got to move that out of the way, I guess, so that they can lift up and dump the thing. I'm also trying not to let them see that I'm filming them. There she goes. I should have put the tarps all the way up against the house, I guess. All right, my mountain is complete. And I waited until the guys left so I didn't look like a weird creeper, dude. Look at it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is much cleaner mulch than from when the guys took my tree. I asked him, sorry, my shadow's in it. I asked him what it was, and he's like, it's mostly maple and then some poplar trees. But, like, there's not a whole bunch of leaves and debris and stuff in it. And it also feels a little dry. So, I guess with as early as it is, maybe he didn't do this today. I don't really know. But, as all mountains go, and as all hikers are when they see mountains, they must climb. Climb the mountain. Climb the mountain. It's eating me. Hey, I went on a hike today. Let's rest up top. Oh, my boots are dirty now. I'm so excited. So now that I have... It's going to take me forever to move this. Jen's not happy about that. She was like, as long as it doesn't take as long as the last pile. Yeah, the pile that we used the cat to finish moving because we had the tree cut down. We got the mulch. I've been moving the mulch and doing all the things. Then I hurt my back. Couldn't move the mulch anymore. So this is still going to take a while. My back is better than it was when I got hurt, obviously. But Jen doesn't know this yet because we haven't really been able to talk since she went to work. But I think between the day that I planted all the plants and did all the things, and then the day that I went in the neighbor's yard and cleaned up, I think I did something, y'all. Even my hip, the left side has started hurting. When I was trying to go to bed last night, it still wasn't as bad as it was before the injection, but I'm like, crap. So I'm wondering how well that injection did and how long it's going to last. So I don't know how long it's going to take to move this, but the reason I wanted this so bad, for people who don't know anything about gardens or just want me to teach you some random shit. The reason you want mulch in your beds is not necessarily so that it looks pretty, because this isn't dyed mulch. This is literally, you cut down a tree and you chop it up. This is the most natural mulch you can get. But the reason you want to put this in your garden beds is primarily for moisture retention, because you don't want your plants to dry out. And you don't want to have to water, because if you have a good layer of mulch, it does multiple things. So it will help with the moisture retention, so you do not have to water your plants as frequently. It will help if you've got a decent layer in there with weed suppression, which is something that I drastically need. And it also, especially being this fresh and not chemically altered in any way, shape, or form, it will also break down and create more nutrient-rich soil, which is essential for gardening. You need good soil. I am blessed that our soil around here is very, very good quality, I have to say. And I had to do almost nothing to it, but I think a lot of that has to do with all this damn overgrowth. Because over the years, again, I've been here 16 years, other than like when I plant stuff, I don't add to it. I just kind of let the yard go. I mean, right there, I've never planted anything. It's next to my driveway. Why would I? I guarantee you I could put a garden right there and add absolutely nothing. Like, my soil, I'm very fortunate. I'm worried about when we relocate, how much work, time, effort, energy, like all the things that I'm going to have to put into whatever quality soil we have there. But I'm very fortunate to have good soil. And I'm also so excited for this. I feel like a kid in the candy store. I think Jen and I are going to host a party to have people come over and celebrate. And for this party, I would appreciate, and it'll all be on the invite, people bringing a shovel, a rake, a pitchfork, a wheelbarrow, you know, a little something, something, and maybe we can have a mulch party. I don't know if that's a thing, but maybe I'll make it a thing. Because I got lots of places for this to go. Oh! Alright. I'm going to shut up and stop playing with mulch. The shut up part might be true. But I'm probably going to play with mulch. I have so many errands to run. I didn't expect this today. But today is the day I'm supposed to let my back rest. And, I mean, I do have things that I need to do prior to playing with mulch. I got a lot of free wood from a lady, and that is currently occupying my wheelbarrow. So this is not my top priority. That's me telling myself that. In addition to telling you guys that. But you know what I'm probably going to do? I'm probably going to move some wood and put out exactly one wheelbarrow of mulch. I wonder how many wheelbarrow loads this is. I'd like to say I'm going to keep track, but I'll likely forget. The best part, this was 100% free, and the guy was so nice. From whatever company he was from, I used Chip Drop. And so I put this request in on the 1st. Today's the 3rd. It took 2 days. But he was really nice. And so for Chip Drop, it's free for the people receiving it. And there's the option in there to pay the arborist's fee of $20. And if you pay that, you're more likely to get chips faster, because then they're saving money from having to drop these and pay for it, and they're not paying the $20 fee. Well, I was like, you know what, I don't know, I'm always skeptical when I try things to begin with, and I was like, I'm in a very good location, I feel like I'm probably going to get some chips. I didn't expect to get chips this fast. But he was super sweet, and I let him know, I've never done this before, I didn't know I have to sign anything, I wasn't sure. And he was like, I don't know how much you have to pay, and I wanted to be like, nothing, but I didn't say anything, and he told me his fee was only $20, and he's like, to drop this at wherever they take these, I'm not sure, he's like, this load would cost me about $80, he's like, so you're saving me money. I said, sir, you're saving me money too. I love being, a symbiotic, beneficial relationship, and like all the things, and we all save money, because if I were to buy this much mulch, I don't even know how much this much would cost, but like $0 is the best, and I really like this. So yeah, we helped each other out. He saved money, I saved money, and now I have hours upon hours of work, and he reminded me, he's like, it's good exercise, and I'm like, yeah, I know, dude, come back and like help. Any hoozles, also for the back mound, I don't have a way to get a wheelbarrow in there, because behind the shed I built for Jen, it would fit. Behind the green shed, it won't fit. So I'm going to have to create a pallet gate so that I can get a wheelbarrow in there. But mulching the mound would be extremely beneficial, but it's not my top priority currently. I would like to get some more cardboard down in there first. But mulching the front beds, giving a lot of this to the chickens, that's top priority. Plus, it's already in the front yard. I don't have to go through the gate. I can just try and get my front beds done, because I need a lot of weed suppression up there. And, yeah. Ugh, okay, shut up, Michelle. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy me on a mountain. Hang on. I'm going to flip the angle. This is not what it looks like when I go hiking, but this is me sitting on a mountain. A mountain of mulch gold. You didn't even see that. I'm not going to bury myself in this, and I'm not going to make mulch angels. Not going to happen. Even though Darla is telling me I should. So, I'm sure it looks weird that I am laying on my front porch. But there's a reason for it. I've done a few loads of mulch, taking breaks in between, and now my back's bad, and I never show this part, It was going to be too much to try and get the wheelbarrow and the shovel and stuff inside the gate, because I'm always afraid people are going to steal my stuff and then make it all the way inside to lay down. But it's also beneficial. This is a really hard surface, so what I do is I lay down and then I just do like weird little exercises. And after my injury, because I feel that in my spine, but after my injury, when I was doing weird stuff like that, which, I mean, really isn't that weird, Jen was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to fix my back. It's stuff like this that you guys don't see. You just see me out here doing all kinds of stuff and questioning, hey, is she actually hurt? Yeah, I really am. And this is what I have to do. Sometimes when it gets really bad, like it is right now, which is why I'm laying down, my legs get really weak and it feels like I'm gonna fall, and like I feel all that starts in my low back, and I feel it starting to tighten up, and it usually starts on the right side, like probably 95% of the time. And so I've kind of learned to gauge it a little bit, but sometimes when I'm very close to finishing a project, I don't listen, and that is detrimental. But I'll feel it starting to tighten on the right side, and then it'll go down into the buttock, and then it'll start going up, and then it spreads to the left side. And then once the left side starts spreading, I know, like, you have got to get seated, laid down, something, because then when it's so tight and I'm trying to walk inside, that's when my legs get really weak. And there have been a couple times that I've almost fallen, and the last time I started getting dizzy. I didn't tell Jen that part, but yeah, it's pretty bad. And the thing that I guess I don't know is, when that happens, am I making it stronger in the end, or am I making it like a lot worse? I really don't know. All the doctors that I've talked to, they're like, just gauge yourself, figure it out. You'll find what you can and can't do. And I'm like, I don't really know what that means. Like, when I first feel the right side starting to tighten, should I go sit down? If so, like, I'm going to be seated all the freaking time like I was when I was on light duty, and I'm not ever going to get anything accomplished, and then I'm going to be 600 pounds, and then somebody's going to hurt their back trying to get me out of the house. And I don't want that for my fellow first responders, because, like, there's a chance that Jen could be the one responding, and, like, if she hurt her back trying to lift me, I would never forgive myself. I mean, I really wouldn't necessarily forgive myself if, like, anybody did, but let's just not do that. But yeah, I'm not an expert in this, and I really don't know, I guess, the line. I've learned, when I'm way past that line, what that feels like. And I hate it because, like, when Jen's here and she sees it, like, she, like, panics, but she's really great. She'll get me an ice pack, she'll put the TENS unit on, she'll do all the things and make sure that I, like, don't die. But there's so many more times that she doesn't see, like right now, because she's in there sleeping. I don't know. I just want to let you guys know that the injury is real. I'm not some kind of superhero that can just go out, do all these things, and then rest up at night. It's not how it works. It's taking more breaks than usual. Because most times, like, if I'm in the backyard, I've got chairs around there, and if I'm doing stuff and I feel like getting to, I'll just sit. And depending on what I'm doing, every, like, 10 to 15 minutes, I could be sitting down for a few minutes and then getting back up. It's at least once or twice an hour, no matter what I'm doing. And I hate that, because I never used to be that. I used to be that power horse that could just go, 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 go. And people were like, holy shit, look at Michelle. She's, like, strong as an ox. She's a freaking mule. She's a power horse. But now I'm like, I don't know. I was trying to come up with something funny. I don't know. I don't know what I am anymore, but it's not anywhere near that. It's, yeah, I can still get things done. I can still accomplish things. But it takes me probably 10 times longer to do that, or I pay the consequences. yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to lay here for a few more minutes. I mean, I've been filming this for 5.5 minutes, and I still don't feel like getting up would be smart right now. So I'm going to lay here for a little bit, and then I'm probably going to go inside and ice my back and do all those things. Right now I'm doing fun leg twists. This is what I learned in physical therapy. Yeah. If you don't know what a cat-cow is, look that up. It's really weird to be on top of a table doing a cat-cow with like 20 other people in the room. Face down, ass up is basically what it is. Any hoozles. Yeah. I'm broken. It's a bent day. Like, I feel mentally I'm bent, but like, my body's broken. Send help. Alright, y'all. Check this out. So, I didn't do anything here. Yes, there is some grass coming up, but I have a lot of these wildflowers, and I threw a bunch of other seeds in there, so I don't want to put mulch on it and essentially kill all that. We just have to wait and see what happens. Even back there in the bare spot, I had thrown some seeds. I don't know if they're going to germinate, but I've got all my stuff mulched. This is the front bed. It looks rough because this is, you know, just straight from a tree. It's not dyed, nothing like that. I found a tomato I didn't know I had. So I have 28. And like, all my little guys, look at my little baby lettuce. But the entire front bed is officially mulched. Also, there's that random string in my tree. I don't know if Jen's noticed it yet, but it's been there for like a month. I don't know where it came from, and I'm not taking it down. But yeah, I need color in this bed. I need my roses to bloom again. I need these guys to grow up some more. Some of these tomatoes, you can tell the ones I got in the ground first. All of these that way were in the ground before those guys because they're so much bigger. I really dropped the ball. I was excellent on making all the seeds. See, look at these guys. By the way, everything I've planted, with the exception of the cucumbers, because unfortunately mine died, that was 1000% my fault. But everything except for the cucumbers and the watermelon, and what else was it? The onions, I started from seeds. This is 1000% me. But I just wanted to show you guys that I did some work. And it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great. But I mean, like I said, it's not expensive mulch. It's cheap stuff. Cheap, but very good. Very high quality. Very, very high quality. That's all. Alright, check this out. The chicken run is now mulched with several layers. Well, not layers, inches. The girls were a little scared. I mean, I would be too if I didn't know what was happening and somebody's bringing a wheelbarrow in, and I'm so glad that I was smart enough to build this door wide enough to fit the wheelbarrow. But I was working on the deep litter method, and we are 1000% doing it now. I don't care that there's some highs and some lows, because they're going to end up breaking it all down to this corner anyways, because that's what they always seem to do. I love that they have something new to explore. I'm going to get them some treats. We have some frozen watermelon rinds, since I scared the literal shit out of them doing that. I did come in and talk to them first and let them know, but they panicked. But they were such good girls. I'm going to give them a treat. Hi, mamas. Hi, mamas. I don't have anything but hello. Yeah, I come out here and I talk to them a lot now. And when they hear me or see me, they come up to me. Hi, baby. You can't come out. I know. Hi. Hi, baby. Yeah, I don't know. We're bonding. That's all I know. And I guess they're not too mad at me if they're coming up to me. But yeah, I'm going to get them a treat and go find something else to do. I don't know. Maybe go lay down. Remember how that one time you saw this and it was covered in weeds? And then that one time you saw this and there was $200 worth of boxes? Well, this time you're looking at 4 to 6 inches of mulch. And Maggie has liked playing on the boxes, so I'm about to let her out and see what she does when she comes over here and discovers this. I have a very strong feeling I'm about to have mulch everywhere. I'm proud of myself. This was the easiest one to do, though. I mean, the chicken run, that took less, but it was scaring the girls, and I didn't like that, so I took my time on it. But this, I mean, all I had to do was dump that shit and barely do anything to it. Hell yeah!